Luka Zach, 14, Zach. When did you do your first double and which was it? Okay, so I was a little late bloomer on the skis. My first double was technically a dub back, which is, pretty classic one. But right after dub, did I do dub back first? Yeah, I did dub back first. Right after dub back, I did switch dub. That was my first actual off-axis dub. I didn't start park skiing until I was 16. When I was 16, I could do a 360 on the small jump and then really got into it seriously from then on. And I think I did it 2 years. I think I did my first double 2 years after I started park skiing. But I have been skiing most of my life. Yeah, I would say it's a switch dub, and it was other than the dub back. The dub back was sketchy. I've done one on snow in my life, and that was the only one I've done. And then switch dub I did after that on a really small jump, and then moved on from that. Next question from the same guy, Luca. How did you get a sponsor? Did they contact you, or did you contact them? Pat, how do you get a sponsor?
I think we did these questions wrong.
Well, I'm going through top to bottom here.
Yeah, I should have answered the double one. You should answer this one.
Oh, yes. What was your first double? Tell them about your first double.
You can see it on Instagram if you want to. It is on my
If you guys are watching the video version, we'll post a picture of Pat's first double.
Peppermint Patty is how we
Peppermint Patty. Peppermint Patty's first double.
I built a jump on the side of a road and did a double backflip. This is 2013, so it's 7 years ago. It's a long time ago. But I didn't put skis on until I was in grade 9. And then I skied at Calabogie. I'll fade this into the sponsorship one. I skied at Calabogie in grade 10. And then, I got on the NCR, then OPP, OPPA, whatever the lineup was. But my old coach was a rep for Armada Skis, which kind of helped me with that because they cover a lot. You can get all your outerwear skis. I think they're even doing bindings now, poles. In terms of other than that, I had Spy Optics, so I contacted them. Swanee Gloves was a sponsorship we got through the team.
Yeah, you're
I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I've been doing this heavily, so I'm trying to think back. But Bruce would be more relevant for this one. Yeah,
I had 2 or 3 of the people I've had on the podcast already did their first doubles when they were 11 or 12.
Yeah, no, we were way late.
I didn't even know what skiing was until then. But
sports when we were that age though, the sport was not really on the map. We've kind of been right at
a different area. In
a different era. But it wasn't common knowledge. Now if you say freestyle skiing, everyone will know what you're talking about. In 2012 and 2010, not really everybody would know that freestyle skiing.
But if you talked about freestyle skiing in that way and you looked at all the people that were freestyle skiing back when we started, no one was freestyle skiing at a really young age. It was all older high school kids and stuff like that. And as for sponsorships, my sponsorships, I've had no sponsors come to me ever except for K2 Skis. They came to me last year. Everything else, I've written up sponsorship resumes. I've contacted people. It takes a lot of connections, a lot of reaching out to people. You have to be able to provide something for the company. Don't just be like, hey, I want something.
You're marketing yourself. You have to prove that you are worth their sacrifice. And for you to get to a point where they're reaching out to you, that's a long, long part down the road.
Yeah, and for sponsors, especially nowadays, competition results don't really matter to them. If you have a contest result and you are first place at a Canadian Open Tour, for instance, or a local rail jam, nobody cares. Unfortunately,
it's hard to say, but yeah, you've got to have the social media, you've got to have the reputation or the connections to everything. It has to be worth their time.
So for me, what I did this year is I went really out of my way. I spent probably a week making this really nice PDF in Photoshop and on Canva, which is an app or whatever. And I put all my analytics for everything I'm doing, all my comp results, all my videos, everything like that. And I've been sending that out to sponsors this year, and I've had really good feedback. I think every sponsor I've sent it to, I've picked up this year. So that's something that I think I'll probably give access to you guys maybe next year. I'll make it something that you guys can
Patreon.
Yeah, maybe for Patreon members, or maybe something you guys can get for $10 or something. You can just get for $10 as a template, and you guys can throw all your own information in there. But you have to make it professional, and you have to
show that you put the work in.
Well, you also have to ask the question, what do you bring to their company? Because they're not in the most of these businesses aren't in the market of giving away free stuff. They need to have a return on their investment.
Yeah, and
at least down the line, if you can show them even where you're projecting to go, or if you have social media stuff that you're projecting or projects you're doing, all that stuff's important.
You got to stand out. You got to put the work in and make it pop. If you're just sending a couple pictures, contest links, a video, and an email,
and
you might stand out, but you got to really be special in that sense.
And I was totally the kid that when I was young, I was sending pictures of or videos of me doing 360s, asking to get sponsored.
You did it too, and I mean you can't take it personally. I mean,
no, they're not going to sponsor you, but you might get a pro deal if you do some decent little stuff. But yeah, I would say just really make sure you make a professional impression.